Hi everyone. Several people have asked me to do a video on how I polish the metal on my Hot Wheels cars. I apologize for not getting this video out sooner, but better late than never. So what we're looking at right now is my polishing wheel setup. The pad on the right is my rough cutting wheel, and I'll use a fast cutting compound I purchased from Harbor Freight on this wheel. I only use this compound on this wheel and try not to cross-contaminate my other wheel with any of this compound. On the left wheel, I'm using a different high polish compound. This is the softest compound Harbor Freight has and can be used on gold, silver, and even plastic. Care is taken not to get anything other than this compound on this wheel. If any of the first compound gets on this wheel, you will not achieve the mirror finish you desire. As Norm would say, before we begin, a quick word on safety. I always wear safety glasses when polishing anything on this setup. These wheels have a habit of grabbing the item you're polishing and firing them off just like a Hot Wheels launcher, except hundreds of times faster. You don't want it ricocheting back and hitting you in the face. Also, the wheels put off small strings or fibers as you use them, so a dust mask is a must. Last, and most important, notice I'm not wearing any gloves or long sleeves. Do not wear any gloves or long sleeves while using this polishing wheel. Broken fingers are not fun. Okay, let's get started. Our subject will be this van I'm working on. I chose this van because it's large, and the flat roof would make a great surface to show how I polish the cars. So let's turn this thing on, and I'll move the camera for a closer look. The first thing we'll need to do once the polisher is running is apply some of the compound to the wheel. You do not require a lot of the polishing compound, but you also don't want too little. With practice you'll get the hang of it. Too much compound and it will gum up on the car. Too little and you waste time creating heat, but no real polish. After the compound is applied, bring the car up to the wheel and begin to apply some light pressure to the car against the wheel, moving at the same time. I find it's best to start from one end of the car and move to the other. At this beginning stage, you'll find that you can only polish for a few seconds before the car becomes too hot to handle. Once this occurs, remove the car and use a paper towel or cotton towel to remove any of the compound from the car. After doing this, you can check your work and also allow the car to cool down before continuing. Once the car has reached a temperature you can stand, you can pick up polishing where you left off. Simply repeat this until you have polished the entire car with this wheel. As the car becomes more polished, you'll find that it doesn't heat up as bad as when it did at the beginning, allowing you to polish for longer periods. I'm not going to make you watch me do all this, so we'll skip ahead to the next step. On the second wheel, you're going to do the exact same thing as the first wheel, but now you're going to use the high polish compound. This is where your mirror finish can be obtained, provided the car you're polishing is of high enough quality. Mattel relies heavily on paint to hide imperfections in production, things like pits and impurities in the metal. Since we're not painting the cars, and instead buffing the metal, these imperfections show up. This van we're polishing now, not made by Mattel by the way, has a bunch of issues if you look really close. Some of the most notable are discolorations in the metal caused by impurities getting into the metal at production. If you're a perfectionist, then polishing $1 cars may not be your thing, as nearly all of them I've ever done have some issues. Once you've gone over the entire car again with this wheel, you can turn the polisher off and we can move on to cleaning the metal of all the residual compound. To do this, I plunge the car into turpentine. Here I am using new turpentine to show you how well it removes the compound, as you will see the liquid take on a darker color the more we clean the car. I'm using an old toothbrush and scrubbing the car all over. Notice I'm using a nitrile glove on my left hand to keep the turpentine off my skin. This step really can't be skipped. You can remove a lot of the compound with a paper towel, but you'll find it very difficult to remove it from the crevices and the corners. The turpentine dissolves the compound. We're only using the brush as a way to speed up the process. When clean, simply remove the car and dry it off with a paper towel. Then rinse the car off with soap and water. Dry it off with another paper towel, and then you can either put the car back together or clear coat the metal and then put the car back together. If you decide to clear coat, understand that it will take some of the shine away. However, if you don't clear coat, you'll find over the years that the car will react with oxygen in the air and form metal oxides on your polished surfaces, destroying your work. Since this video is only on polishing cars, I will save clear coating for another video. So here's the final result of my labors in polishing this van. Really, you are only limited by the amount of time you want to put in each piece. This van has about 2 hours of work in it, and that's about the limit I'm going to put in this particular casting. Other castings, ones that are of better quality, I put more time in, or I may not have to put as much time in because of less effort to achieve a better result. Sometimes you'll remove the paint from some castings and find a mess underneath. Those I usually do as repaints. Well, I hope this has been somewhat informative and at least a little bit entertaining. I hope you also give it a try. Thanks for watching.